Close your eyes and just take a moment to get comfortable in your seat. So I know some of us are sharing a space today, but even if you are in a room with other people, see if you can just have a little bit of space to yourself, a little bit of room around you. And then as you just sit back comfortably into that chair, place your feet firmly down onto the floor. So uncrossing legs if they're crossed. Just again creating a little bit of space around the legs so they're not quite touching. Feet maybe having a little wriggle, getting any fidgeting out of the way. Feel free to slip off your shoes if you've got them on. Just find a way to get comfortable there in the lower body, letting everything rest. And then we'll start to just slowly scan up through the body. So starting with your toes, maybe taking a little bit of movement in those toes, each one in turn. And just seeing how that movement feels. Maybe it's the first chance you've had to pay attention to your feet today. Maybe you've been running around on them, giving them a bit of a hard time. Maybe you haven't used your feet at all today. You've been able to rest them. It's just noticing any sensations, any feelings in the feet as you just sit here now. Checking in with the soles of the feet, where they're making contact with your shoes, with your ground beneath you. And there's never any judgment when we check in with the body like this. It's all about just bringing our awareness, helping us to gently focus and be more present. Starting now to check in the very heel of your feet, the back corners, noticing if there's any sensation there, and then moving into the ankle joints. Pretty key joint in the body. Most of our movement is going to involve those ankles. Maybe you take a little rock side to side over the feet. So just getting a tiniest bit of movement into those ankles. And then see how that feels as you just take this little tiny movement side to side, rolling to the edges of your feet. Maybe you just gently lift your toes up off the floor and then place them back down. Just a few times. So you're resting the heels heavily down, just getting the smallest little point and flex in the feet. Using those ankles just a tiny bit. From here, maybe pick up the right foot and just give it a little spin, a little turn around the joint. Just the right foot, the left foot stays firmly grounded. Once you've spun one way, spin that foot the other way. And then bring it back down. Pick up the left foot, take some little circles here, spinning around just a few times one way and a few times the other way. And then place the foot back down. Check in again with those ankle joints. Now you've just done that tiny bit of movement. How are they feeling? You can just slowly now move away from the ankles and just start to pay attention, traveling up your legs, checking in with your calves, checking in with the shins, coming up to those knee joints. And maybe from here, start to take the knees together and apart. Very little force, just a little rocking movement. Knees dropping in and out. Almost as if you perhaps could picture yourself a bit like a butterfly flapping wings, and those legs just move a little bit together and apart. as you slowly stop that movement and come back to that kind of neutral feeling where the legs are just gently drifted apart. And then check in how the legs feel. Maybe starting to notice any sensations in the uppermost part of the legs, in the top of your thighs, in the back of your thighs. And just being aware, any feelings, any sensations there. Doesn't need to be any judgment or questioning why. Just checking in with each part of the body. We're going to come up to the hip joints next. Just feeling here where your base of your pelvis is pressing down into your seat, what we call our sitting bones, the bony bits at the very bottom there. Just noticing the seat beneath you and maybe just recognizing how it feels. Is it a hard or soft seat? Do you feel that it's giving you support? Or perhaps it's allowing you to rest? Are there any characteristics about this seat that you can feel? Noticing any sensations. Perhaps you feel you've been sat in this same place for a while now. Maybe you just take a little rock onto the left and the right side of the pelvis. It doesn't need to be any particular way, just taking a little bit of movement, a little bit of rock, just adjusting the weight, maybe forward and back. Maybe take some little circles. And then just slowly coming back to what feels about neutral. And again, just checking in how everything feels, just the smallest bit of movement. Has that made a difference at all? From here, as you let the seat drop down, we'll start to bring our attention up through the spine, checking in with the very lowest part of your back and whether there's any sensations here today. Our spine carries all of our weight and stabilizes, supports us, so it's understandable if there's any sensations, any tiredness, any tightness there. It's got a big job to do. We're just feeling up to the mid-back, around your waist, noticing any sensations there in the back of the body. Maybe coming up to the base of your shoulder blades. Just checking how everything feels as you just run your attention up your spine, as if you were rising up in an elevator. Slowly, floor by floor, vertebra by vertebra. And take your attention up. And then before we start to move this part of the body, we're going to bring the attention to the front. So starting down at the very deepest part of your belly. And just checking in there. Any sensations, any feelings in the belly. You may have heard our gut linked to our brain and our emotions pretty clearly. So noticing any sensations in the belly might just give an indication of sensations or feelings happening elsewhere in the body. It's a good idea just to notice how your belly is feeling each day, just checking in there and noticing perhaps if you can see a connection with other parts of the body. Coming up from the lower belly to the mid belly, up towards that space above your belly button where you find your diaphragm. It's a big band of muscle that supports our deep breathing. Base of the ribs. Just checking again any sensations there, any feelings in that center. And then from here, just going to slowly take a little bow forward. So if you've got a desk in front of you, you can rest your hands on the desk. If not, you can just start to let your chest bow down towards your thighs. So just taking a little bow. Your head can stay in line with the rest of your back. So not letting the chin drop into the collarbone and not lifting the head to extend the throat. Just slowly bowing forward. Maybe the hands are on your knees. Maybe they drop down by your sides towards the floor. Just taking a little fold. Just noticing how that feels. As you fold down, you're extending the back, so lengthening from the hips to the shoulders. And there's a little bit of compression in your belly, a little bit of folding over that all-important center. Just taking a moment here in this little fold. And then slowly we're going to roll back up. Sitting back up tall. Just take your time to come back up. And then let's continue moving this attention up the body. So checking in now with the shoulder joints. Place where your arm connects into the rest of the body. And just noticing as you get to those shoulder joints, maybe the top of the shoulders, the space between that joint and your neck, and just noticing any sensations there. Any feelings in the upper arms, the underneath of your arms. And then just start to take a couple of little rolls in the shoulders. Nice, easy movement. Just rolling a few times forward. Keeping the hands resting down. And then start to roll the other way a few times. Nice circling movement. And then come back to the center. Arms nice and heavy. Let's take the attention through those arms. Just checking in with any sensations that movement might have triggered. Coming down to your elbow joints, the lower arms, to the wrists, and all the way down into the fingertips. So the whole lower half of the arm. And then from here, we're going to bring right hand to left elbow, left hand to right elbow, as if you were just giving your arms a little hug, cradling them there. As you inhale, start to lift the elbows up just to the height of your shoulders. And then as you exhale, slowly bring them back down towards your belly. Beautiful, guys. Inhaling, lift those elbows. Height of the shoulders. And then as you exhale, slowly lower them back down to your belly. Inhaling, lifting the elbows up, height of your shoulders. And then exhaling, slowly lower them back down. 2 more times. Inhaling, gently lifting up. Exhaling, lower the elbows down. Last time. Inhale, lifting up. And then exhale, bring the arms back down. From here, slide the hands together, clasp your fingertips, and then just take a few little rolls in the wrists. As always, just checking in how this feels, noticing any sensations in the hands. And then just let them drop back down to your knees for now. We'll come back to some more dynamic movement shortly. Sitting up tall. Just letting a last moment of attention in your arms, your wrists and your hands before you come back to bringing the attention into the neck. And just noticing what the central part of the anatomy is doing. Our neck carries our heavy head around all day, so there can be times it feels strain, it feels struggle. Perhaps perhaps you're noticing that today is the day it's feeling nice and relaxed, nice and easy. So just being aware, checking in. And then from here, let's bend the knee, bow the chin in towards the collarbone. Just start to take a little roll side to side with the head. Nice, simple rolling each way. Chin stays low, just rolling through the neck. Side to side. Slow as you can, just to make sure you get through every possible movement of that joint. Couple more each way. And then eventually come back into the center. Just let the head drop there for a moment, nice and heavy. And then as you inhale, slowly lift the head back up to the center. And then attention into the face. So just noticing now if there's a particular expression on your face. Do you notice perhaps that you're furrowing your brow, concentrating hard? Perhaps you've squeezed your eyes tightly closed. Your lips pressing together, your tongue pressing up into your mouth. I'm just going to gently start to let all of that go. So softening your forehead, allowing your eyebrows to gently drift apart, just unfurrowing any tension there. Imagine your eyes just gently closed, softly, without force. Let your tongue just rest softly down in the mouth. Unhook your jaw so your teeth don't quite touch. And then perhaps start to turn up the corners of your mouth to give yourself a little smile. And we actively relax the facial muscles and create a smile, which is also relaxing the face. And we start to send that message into our psyche that we're relaxed, that we're happy, at ease. So just holding that smile for another moment. If it doesn't come naturally, perhaps we need a little more practice. Maybe you bring something or someone to mind that helps you get that feeling. And then sitting here, face relaxed, aware of your body. Let's just start to take a few nice deep breaths. So inhaling fully. Think back to that diaphragm, that big muscle in the center of your chest, and imagine it dropping down in towards your belly as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, that same muscle domes up like an umbrella in this rainy day, just slowly pushing the air back up out of the body. As you inhale, it slowly flattens and just pulls the breath into the body. And then as you exhale, that umbrella just gently helps to ease out any breath we've not used. Inhaling here, nice full deep breath, fill up the lungs. And then exhale, let all that breath go. 3 more rounds, inhaling fully, deeply, as much as you can. And then exhaling to let go. Inhale fully. Exhale, use the muscles in the body to just get rid of all that excess air. And then take one more like this, inhaling. And exhaling. We're going to count the breath a few times now. Another great way to focus in the mind, in the body. So if you find the count challenging, don't worry, take it at your own pace, in your own time. I'll talk you through. But if it doesn't work for your particular breath, then just try to slow down in any way you can. We're going to count in for 4. I'm going to hold for 4, out for 4, and then hold for 4. Nice and simple. So exhale out all the air to begin with. Get the body nice and empty, ready. And then as you begin to inhale to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale and an exhale. Let your breath return to normal. Hopefully a little bit deeper now. A little bit more relaxed now. I'm going to take just one more movement here, a bit more dynamic. So again, come into that fold. So bringing your chest down towards your legs. If you've got the space to let the arms hang down, try to be away from any table and just take a little sway with the head side to side here. Take a little sway, maybe with the arms, the shoulders, just feeling this little rocking motion. You think of this as a rag doll, just sort of swaying side to side. Just having to loosen everything back up. Get some energy back in. And then when you feel ready, as you just gently come back to the center, roll yourself back up to sit. Take your time. Stack your spine up, vertebra on top of vertebra. Roll the shoulders backwards a couple of times. Take another big deep inhale. And exhale. Do one more big deep inhale. And exhale. And when you feel ready, you can just gently open up your eyes and come back